right, so technically this is a brand new product line from Apple. This is the brand new MacBook Neo, the ultra budget $599 laptop, which is absolutely nuts. I was actually just at the launch in New York for this. It comes in 4 different colorways, so the one which I think pops the most, I'd say like favorite of the bunch just because it's so different. So this is in citrus. It also comes in indigo, blush, and silver. Let me know which one your favorite one is. But your very first like look in unboxing. So obviously you see the MacBook up top. You can see the main colorway that you choose, obviously like citrus and MacBook Neo on the side. Even though it's budget, they still didn't skimp out on like the box. It's still like the same that you've known from every Apple product. And the first thing that I actually noticed, there's this little like hello on the pull tab, which is kind of cool. Obviously that is color matched, and underneath, this is the first time you're on the channel, designed by California in Apple, and we have essentially a iPhone charger inside. So this is only a 20-watt brick and just a standard USB-C cable, non-color matched, and inside, no stickers, obviously, MacBook Neo. And that is that. So off this comes. And if this is the first time you are seeing this color, I will say it is closer to like maybe lime. There's definitely a lot of green in this. It's not completely yellow. As an example, I'll bring up this like yellow book. You can see the big difference. So that is kind of cool. Obviously startup and everything super simple. And these are the new wallpapers that also kind of match. And if you look closely enough or squint at it, this actually says Mac in the background, which is kind of cool. So let's talk about this price quickly. So $599, $799 Canadian, and with the student discount, $100 less. So you can technically get this for $499, which I think this thing will sell so many of. A lot of students will eye this. It is a lot cheaper than say the next level, which is the MacBook Air. It's close to like $500 cheaper, which is crazy. There are obviously corners that Apple had to cut to get there. Let's get into that first. So the build quality, this is the first non-unibody MacBook. Like, it still feels obviously very premium. This is all aluminum, but you can actually see at the back, there is a seam that runs across the entire back plate. So you can actually remove this quite easily. It doesn't feel as like solid as say like a MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, but compared to what's on the market for $599, a lot of like PCs would be bending, creaking, and those are typically made of some plastic or some polymer. So that's like the first thing. On the inside, so the trackpad, so it's no longer the Force Touch trackpad with haptics. This is a multi-touch trackpad. So it's actually built out of 2 separate layers, I was kind of told. So there is a little bit of give here. It doesn't, once again, give you that same premium feel. Once again, compared to most Windows laptops, most other laptops like in this category that just feel cheap, they like only work in like the bottom like 1/3 quadrant. This still works like well across like all, but once again, just a step down from what you're used to. You still get the same great typing experience. So this is the same like Magic Keyboard. When you upgrade to the 512 gig version, because this is 256, you do get Touch ID, but I have the base model here. So you can see it's just the lock button. It is no longer backlit. And this is also the first time we have a color match keyboard. So you can see here a like slight yellow or a slight citrus based keyboard, but all the keys are a lot lighter. It's like a tint of off-white. And for some reason, even though it's technically the same, it doesn't feel, maybe it's like my mind knowing that the trackpad isn't as good, but yeah, it still feels like, once again, good compared to most other things. I've got my MacBook Pro here, and just for whatever reason, maybe because it's of the build, maybe feels like a bit more hollow. Maybe that's like what's underneath the keys, but similar placebo effect. Maybe a bit more flex on this. But considering this is like, what, 1/10 of the price, like knock off an extra zero, like 5,000 versus 500. They've done like a really good job here of like how this is. Another thing they've done to kind of reduce is the ports that you see on the side. So you only have them on the one side. So these are only like USB-C ports. If you're not like a real techie, they look similar to what is like on my MacBook Pro as an example, but they are not Thunderbolt. So you have a USB 3 port and a USB 2 port. Obviously they still have the headphone jack. It only comes with a 20-watt charger, so just slower charging speeds. Maybe you'll notice the big difference in like data transfer rates if you're putting a lot of stuff onto an SSD, but they do have like a headphone jack, which I like, and the speakers, which are now located on the side. When I played them, honestly, pretty decent. As reference, here's a quick little speaker sample. for this price, that is super, super tough to beat. The display on this, it's really good, comparable to the MacBook Air. So it's the same liquid retina display, still gets as bright, like up to 500 nits. It doesn't have like the wide color gamut, so it's sRGB compared to P3. It doesn't have True Tone, and I guess it does have these thicker bezels that run on the sides, and because there is no notch, that bezel runs all the way across. The front-facing camera, it's just a 1080p camera compared to the center stage camera on most other Apple devices. But if you look at all those things, are they worth like double the price? I think Apple did such a good job at keeping this like on budget. This price range will attract like so many new people, especially with that student discount. Like imagine this for $499. So I'll talk about the different spec options so you can get this in the base. So this has 8 gigs of RAM, that's standard across all. It has 256 gigs of storage, but the upgraded version for $100 more gets you 512 gigs, and of course, the good old Touch ID unlock button on the side. Stick to the base model. Like if you're getting the 512 or 256, you're likely to get an external SSD anyways. The RAM, which once again stuck at 8, obviously would have loved to see that at 16 gigs to future-proof itself, but the big thing here, this is no longer running like an M series chip. This is running an iPhone chip, the A18 Pro, and we saw that in the iPhone 16 Pro Max, so that's now like 1 year old, running Mac OS. And I know a lot of you will ask, like, can an iPhone chip, so like my 16 Pro Max here, can that run like Mac OS? When you look back at the A18 Pro, that is like comparable to M1 performance, which so many people raved about. Those chips are obviously like in an iPad, which people obviously love, they use. Now that is running like proper Mac OS. And you know how before when Apple switched from say like Intel to their own silicon, you had 2 different kinds of software? That's not the case for this. So anything that you see like on the Apple Store, any sort of stuff that you download that works for like M series or like M1 through to, what are we at, M5, that works on this. Same software, no issues. It's great. And of course, the big thing about like A18 and this mobile chip is the efficiency on this. So let's talk about like battery life. So it is almost like 2/3 the size of what's in the MacBook Air. So it's 36.5 watt hours, but you still get like 16 hours of video playback, 11-ish like hours of general browsing. That is still good enough to last you the entire day. Like when you're a student, you're out like on campus, you're using the device, you're using this to browse, type up stuff, look up like info. You don't need to worry about charging this, and the standby times on Mac OS once again are great. So you just close the laptop when you're done, you carry it around to your next thing, and just open it back up, and it's ready to go. So to actual performance, I'm gonna throw up some like benchmark scores right now. You can take away what you will if you're a big like Geekbench person. But for example, for who this laptop is for, like I said, students, budget-friendly people that aren't really pushing their device. You're not gonna be editing like multi-streams of 4K footage. I installed like Final Cut on this for like social media stuff. When you look back once again at the M1, that was still able to handle like 4K footage, like a bit slower, but if you're editing social media clips, posting stuff to like Instagram, TikTok, stuff that you're taking with like your phone, it works. It works like great. Regular productivity stuff like emailing, using Excel, word processing, stuff that most people do like on the day-to-day for this like price range. You don't need to spend like $1,500 on a device which you won't like unlock its full potential for. When you're just watching Netflix, when you're just watching like YouTube videos, when you're watching like me, on the MacBook like Neo, you do not need 32 gigs, 64 gigs of RAM, or like the M5 Pro chip, which the MacBook also just got a new update. That video is dropping soon. Selfless plug for myself. This is great at what it does. Like when you compare this to like Chromebooks, which are in this price category, get this over like a $500 Chromebook. What this doesn't do is those like pro or like heavy creative like workflows. Like do not stick like 4K, 8K footage. Do not be MKBHD, run a red camera and expect this thing to handle that. Like high-end gaming, you can still get by like with Apple Arcade stuff. That runs pretty smooth. Most of that is like mobile-based gaming like anyways. Don't expect to play Cyberpunk on this, or if you just got WoW Midnight, if you're hopping back in like some sorry person like me, you won't be running it on this. And to kind of wrap it off, I've brought out like my Windows device that is around the same price. This one's just a bit larger. So the 13-inch model of this laptop costs like around that $600 mark, just to compare, just for a good old sake. So the first thing like around build, like there is a lot of flex like on these Windows displays. You can see that amount of wiggle. Obviously like on the MacBook, this is like all aluminum. This is like some sort of like plastic. That same kind of like build goes throughout. There is like a lot of give, you know, just like one finger pressing. You can see like on on the keyboard. And like even like the trackpad, I mentioned that like it doesn't really work in like this top corner, whereas like on the bottom, that's where you get a lot of like that flex. A little bit of flex, not a lot like on the MacBook. And once again, not the same trackpad experience as like on a MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, but still feels way better than what's going on here. The next thing displays, just the vibrancy on the MacBook is a lot better. Even like viewing angles, like the cutoff on some of these like Windows ones are like terrible. Like you just cannot see anything like off angle. I guess it's their version of privacy display. You've seen like the Samsung device, that's what that's all about. Performance, like you can still get by, you know, browsing, you can still do word processing, but it's if you want to push it anymore, that's where most Windows devices fall short. Not running like Mac OS, you still get the weird software updates. It's Windows, it's clunky, the overall device is like heavier, it's like a lot thicker. I sound like the biggest like Apple fanboy with this video, but I'm just trying to kind of show the difference in like pricing here or what you're getting for this money. Like it's not perfect if you're coming from like a MacBook Air, if you're used to that premiumness of like a MacBook Pro, but for this price range, like I cannot wrap my head around like $499. There's like really nothing else like on the market that I would recommend in this price range unless you get like a really good Black Friday or really heavy like discount, or if you pick something up used. It is hard to beat $500 on this MacBook Neo. Even $600 if you don't get the student pricing, or like say $800 in good old Canadian pesos. It is hard to not like what Apple has done with this. I think this will sell really well. Let me know your guys' thoughts and if you are picking up your device in Citrus. Peace.